Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most unforgettable times AIB blew our minds. If you haven't tuned into this gem of a show yet, beware of spoilers ahead.
明かりだ。
誰かいるのか。行こう。
Number 10, the Joker card. Season 2 of Alice in Borderland ends with the most spine-chilling cliffhanger ever. Our protagonist, Arisu, manages to beat the game and returns to the real world with Usagi.
兄貴も1分だけ今和の際にいたんだよ。
While neither has any memory of the death games they played in Borderland, they're inevitably drawn to each other, hinting at a possible romance.
どっかで会ったことありましたっけ？
However, director Shinsuke Sato wasn't going to give us a happy ending, not with another season to go. So, before the curtain falls, we see the ominous Joker card, indicating that the game is far from over. Per Netflix, Arisu and Usagi will be forced to return to Borderland in Season 3, where they must beat a mysterious Joker stage to survive. Clearly, they just can't catch a break.
この運命は俺が受け取る。
Number 9, Arisu's altruism saves the day. Like any self-respecting shonen protagonist, our boy rarely hesitates to risk his life for others in Borderland. All that good karma serves him well, because during the 4 of club games, Distance, his selflessness saves him.
タクのを助けに行くってことか。
でも言ったらゲームはクリアできない。
まだ間に合う。時間はまだあと半分残ってる。
Moments before reaching what he believed was the goal with Usagi and Yamane, he decides to go all the way back to fetch an injured player who had been left behind on a bus. As it turns out, the bus was the goal all along. Meanwhile, Usagi, who had been running in the opposite direction, comes face to face with mortal danger as the underpass is flooded. Thanks to the bus, Arisu clears the game, saves Usagi, and keeps his integrity intact. The adrenaline rush this scene gave us was unbelievable. Number 8, Chishiya being an unbothered king. Give it up for the undisputed winner of the nonchalant contest.
さて、最終ラウンドか。
Chishiya enters the solitary confinement game alone, but as it was a psychological match, our blonde fave was in his element. He survives all the rounds thanks to his sharp observation skills, keen understanding of the human psyche, and a splash of luck, while correctly deducing who the Jack of Hearts was.
やっぱり君がハートのジャックだったんだね。
Throughout the game, he remains detached and hardly ever breaks a sweat, even in the most dire situations. Eventually, he exits the arena unscathed, as the face card blimp explodes in the background. However, even the thunderous spectacle couldn't faze Chishiya. He walks out with his hands in his pockets and an unimpressed look on his face. Talk about aura farming. Number 7, Hatter's Deception. The introduction of Beach was easily one of the most jaw-dropping moments in Season 1 of Alice in Borderland. The pseudo-paradise operated entirely on false hope.
なんだこれ。
Members believed they could eventually get out of Borderland by collecting all the playing cards and handing them over to the beach.
我々全員で全てのカードを揃え、元の世界へ帰ろう。
However, this turned out to be nothing but a delusion that the beach's power-hungry leader, Hatter, came up with. The members' faith in his doctrine fed his god complex until he abandoned his humanity.
トランプを集めれば元の世界に戻れるなんてお前が作った嘘だったろ。
He responded to any resistance with a death sentence and called himself a hero for it. Sure, the beach allowed members to indulge in escapism and maybe even gave them purpose, but it was misguided and hence cruel.
裏切り者には死を。ビーチのルールは絶対だ。
Number 6, Kuina solos the last boss. This is one of the most memorable fights in Season 1. The last boss is armed with a katana, but our agile queen dodges his attacks with razor-sharp focus. As the battle heats up, Kuina realizes that in order to win, she must come to terms with her past as a martial artist. It was a traumatic period in her life, as her lack of aptitude for combat and the fact of her being transgender disappointed her father. However, it also strengthened her spirit.
あんたは過去に背を向け続ければいい。でもうちは生きるためにもう一回過去と向き合う。
So, when the last boss mocks her for lacking a strong will to survive, she calls on her father's teachings and assumes her fighting stance over a bed of broken glass. Within moments, a death blow ends the militant for good.
とどめはためらわず教えは守ったで。
Number 5, the balance scale game. If you see Chishiya walking into a battle of wits, it's already game over for everyone else. The King of Diamonds game, called Balance Scale, was all about reading people and predicting their strategies. As we see throughout the show, Chishiya excels in both with a bonus talent for manipulation.
なんとなく見えてきたよ。あんたが測りたがっているもの。
He quickly figures out that the King of Diamonds, Kusudyu, devised the game to uphold fairness. It has no foolproof solution, and elimination is largely up to fate. So instead of ensuring victory using pure logic, Chishiya triggers Kusuyu's sense of justice.
1を選べばあんたの勝ちだ。
Putting his life in Kazuyu's hands to test his ideals was a huge risk, but it ultimately paid off. The King of Diamonds burns in sulfuric acid, while Chishiya clears the game.
なんかずるいよね。勝ち逃げされたみたいでさ。あんたが羨ましいよ。
Number 4, the Witch Hunt. The Ten of Hearts game exposes the darkest parts of human nature. The challenge of Witch Hunt was to find who killed Momoka Inoue.
少女の命を奪った邪悪な魔女が皆さんの中に潜んでいます。
It was later revealed that she was a dealer in the game and took her own life, so the game wouldn't have claimed any casualties if the players joined forces to investigate her death rationally. However, Aguni and his band of militants decide to go on a murderous rampage instead, using fear to elicit a confession or burn the players one by one until the witch is dead.
燃やせ。寝ぼけたやつは必要ね。
The resulting massacre is barbaric, to say the least, and leaves the audience reeling.
Congratulations.
Number 3, the King of Spades. Season 2 of AIB begins with the most brutal game, which lasts until the penultimate episode. The King of Spades is a murder machine you can either run from or kill to survive. His appearance as a dark, cloaked figure, serving Grim Reaper realness, is bound to give you chills. He hunts the players in between games, leaving nothing but carnage in his wake. A final shootout ensues in Shibuya, which claims the lives of Kuina, An, and Heiya, but the fight they put up is lion-hearted. Heiya's death becomes Aguni's last straw, and after a one-on-one with the king, he traps him with Arisu before delivering the kill shot. The whole sequence is breathless, heart-wrenching, and exceptionally well choreographed, making it a series highlight. Number 2, the Queen of Hearts. The final challenge is a game of croquet. Mirakano, as the Queen of Hearts, welcomes Arisu and Usagi with cloying cheerfulness, before gaslighting them into hopefully quitting. From aliens to VR, androids, and mental illness, she conjures vivid explanations for Borderland, but then claims the first 3 were false.
なんていうのは全部嘘。
Thinking the games were all in his head, Arisu loses his grip on reality until Usagi grounds him and they clear the game.
おめでとう、アリス。
ゲームが終了しました。
Then comes the bigger twist. The surviving players return to the real world with their memories of the games wiped clean. A A near-death experience apparently transported them to Borderland, and they returned after declining to stay there. But given the Joker card, this might not be the full truth either.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Arisu loses his best friends. The first 2 episodes of Alice in Borderland do a fantastic job of getting the audience attached to Arisu and his friends, Chota and Karube.
渋谷にゾンビ出たらやばいよね。
They enter Borderland together, and we want them all to make it out alive. They survive the 3 of Clubs game, and Arisu and Karube even clear a tag. However, when hide and seek pits the trio against each other, Chota and Karube sacrifice themselves to let Arisu win.
Chota! Chota! どこだよ? Chota!
The moment is a gut punch, breaking our hearts into a million pieces. Their death scene sets the ruthless tone of the show, establishing that there will be no plot armor to save our faves. Despite their brief appearance, Chota and Karube leave a deep impact on viewers, making us miss them at every turn. What was your favorite moment in Alice in Borderland? Tell us in the comments.